No hay fecha que no se llegue. Bienvenidos a una nueva temporada de Desde el Cerro de la Silla. Hoy nos visita en el estudio Drake Bell. Para conducir este programa, el consentido de los haters, Franco Escamilla. Estamos felices de estar de vuelta. Queremos que disfruten de esta cuarta temporada que viene con muchas sorpresas. Esto es Desde el Cerro de la Silla, con Franco Escamilla.
Señores, una nueva temporada de Desde el Cerro de la Silla. Esta vez no será en vivo, lo tuvimos que grabar y les va a llamar la atención que este episodio, a partir de este momento, será enteramente en inglés.
Y tal vez se pregunten, ¿por qué estaría en inglés? Pues porque nuestro invitado solamente habla en inglés. Ya saben, lo conocen como Drake Bell, Drake Campana, y será maravilloso. Y si no les gusta mi acento, pueden irse al carajo, pueden irse al demonio, malditos bastardos, y pueden chupármela.
Oye, tranquilo, viejo.
De acuerdo. Drake Bell con nosotros.
Hola a todos, bienvenido a mi show. Estoy muy emocionado de estar aquí con mi invitado.
Franco Escamilla.
Ay, no.
Lo sé, yo estoy... Carajo, estoy haciendo un poco de tiempo, dame un segundo. ¿Ahora vas a mandarme?
No, este es tu programa, amigo.
Franco, bienvenidos. Vámonos.
¡Abrázame, hermano!
¡Abrázame, hermano! Hey, what's up? I'm Drake Bell, and welcome to my house. Bienvenido a mi casa. Hola, soy Drake Bell y estoy en Estado de México. Los voy a llevar a mis 5 taquerías favoritos. What is this?
Welcome back, fellas. So now we're ready. This is Desde El Cerro de la Silla. Not live, bitches, but we are here with Drake Bell. Give us some hands for Drake Bell. Come on. Drake, welcome to Monterrey. This is your first time?
No, I've been here many times.
Oh, when?
When? I think it was probably Wednesday. A Wednesday.
Last Wednesday?
Yeah, I think it was.
I mean, years ago.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. I came here in 2008.
Okay.
For my first concert. That was my first time here. And then I came in 2014, I think, for another show in Arena Monterrey. And then I've been here many times since.
You perform in there, yeah?
Yeah, twice.
Twice?
Yeah. Sold out, baby.
Two?
Yeah.
Nice. So let me start. I need to begin apologizing for my accent. I never studied English. So all my English came from movies.
Oh, okay.
And
what movies?
hip-hop videos.
Oh, okay.
And porn movies.
Sigue.
So you were born in Fountain Valley, California in 1986.
Yes.
And you're the youngest of 5 brothers.
Yeah.
3 older brothers and
a
1
sister.
older sister.
Yeah.
How was it like?
Being the baby of the family was pretty cool. Having
they spoiled you?
Also having 3 older brothers was a little tough. But they're all quite older than me, so I was kind of afterthought.
Okay. We call it here in Mexico the Benjamín.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a lost bullet.
Exactly.
Una bala perdida. So your mother was a professional pool player. Is she still a professional player?
She teaches now.
Okay.
She doesn't play professionally anymore, but it's because it's pretty badass. She pretty much won everything that the sport has to offer. I mean, she's won 2-time world champion pool player. She's won,
She completed the game.
Yeah, she's like, okay, well, what else?
Now
like,
it's in secondary missions, right?
Yeah.
Do you play pool?
I can beat my friends. I'm not that great. I think that I'm good, and then I go visit home and I realize I'm not at all. I'm like, yeah, my mom's Tiger Woods, but you should see me golf. And then I golf with my mom, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm not Tiger Woods, yeah. But no, I go and I play pool with my friends, and everyone's like, oh man, this guy can play, and I beat my friend and all this. And then I go home and I've got all cocky, and then I'm like, Mom, let me play, let's play. And then I just sit and watch as she runs a rack, and then I basically just rack for my mom when we play. Yeah.
And that's it?
Yeah.
I mean, did your parents used to play together? Because if I'm playing with against my wife and she beats me.
Yeah, well, my mom and my stepdad play a lot, but it's really hard because my mom, well, here's the thing, my mom is very competitive.
Nice.
It's probably where I got it from. So
I mean, she's a pro, so
yeah,
she has
so
to.
she doesn't play you like your skill level, whereas, if someone is as good as her and she plays somebody who's like in her family and, we want to have fun and have a good time, she should you play them at their skill level, but my mom won't let anyone win. Like, she just can't do it. It's not in her makeup. So
no. That's the eye of the tiger.
Yeah, so
man.
she's usually when it is the eye of the tiger. But when when I visit home, usually it's like for example, at Thanksgiving, the family plays and my mom is just the referee. Like, she sits back and kind of like coaches.
Okay.
And is like, oh, that's a foul. Oh, you need to, and like,
you suck.
Oh, you didn't. Oh no, you need to. It's more of a 2. It's not a 1. It's a 2. Oh, nope, you didn't see that. Yeah. So she's like on the side watching.
And did she ever encourage you to maybe become a professional player?
Well, the problem with pool is, and my mom had something. She was like, I don't want my kids to grow up in bars, gambling, and turning into hustlers, and taking money from people and
why not?
Getting on drugs.
Sounds awesome.
Well, my mom had a pretty rough upbringing. I mean, she started playing pool when she was 12 years old, and
I mean, at home, right?
Well, no. She would sneak out of her window and go down to Westminster Billiards, and she would play the pinball machines.
Okay.
So she's playing the pinball machines, but she noticed that all the boys were over playing pool. And so she loved playing pinball, but she noticed, she's like, oh, but I want to get noticed by like these boys. And so maybe I'll go over to the pool tables. And she started going over to the pool tables, and the boys were like teaching her how to play, and she loved all the, the male attention. And then, well, she ended up getting really good and then beating all the boys. And then she became state champion at 16.
At 16?
Yeah. And
state
then,
champion. Like from, under 18 or?
No. I think it was just state champion at 16.
Wait.
Yeah.
Against
it wasn't like
adults?
yeah.
That's...
Yeah, I don't think they had a. I mean, Mom, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm gonna make you sound way better right now.
Yeah.
If I am.
He's doing a good job.
But no, it was state champion. I think at 16, and then she joined the pro tour, and in 1991 and 1992 she won the world championships back to back. Yeah.
So your mom is a world champion.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it hard being son of a world champion?
I don't know. It's not hard. I think what it is though is like there's something that you aspire to with everything that you do. It's like my mom always says like, you have champion blood. Like you have champion blood in you. Like
you do.
And when you mention the eye of the tiger, like when my mom is focused and practicing, like I remember back in the day, like it was just all day, every day, preparing for a tour, just zoned in. And with me wrapped around her leg as she's trying to walk around the table, like, Mom, give me attention. She's like, I'm practicing. Like, but she said it was great for her focus because she's like, I've got all these kids running around the house. I've got one strapped to my leg, another one asking me to make them, lunch, another one asking this. And so when I go to play in the tournament, like, no one can shark me because
this is easy.
It's like I'm used to all this noise.
I've been in hell, fucker.
Easy. We weren't that bad. We were just slightly demonic. But no, there's like a champion blood kind of thing of where when you see something you want to do, or there's like with preparing for a tour or working with my band or something, there's like, you work till you get it to where when you go on stage, it's like you're gonna win you're gonna win.
And how
you know?
come the son of a world champion and your father?
Not a world champion.
Not a world champion. Oh. Well, just one world champion.
Yeah. He's a world champion dad, but
okay.
not a. Yeah.
And how did you become an actor?
Well, that brings my dad in.
Okay.
So my parents got divorced when I was.
So sorry.
I was 5. I don't even remember them being together.
It wasn't your fault.
I remember them apart, though. Trust me. But no, they got divorced when I was about 5, and then my dad was my mom was pool, my dad was baseball. So my grandpa, my dad, my cousin actually played for one of the greatest players in the league. He was a closer for the San Diego Padres, the Mets, and I think the Diamondbacks. Yeah, I think the Diamondbacks. So he played on all 3 teams. He was an all-star pitcher.
Okay.
One of the best closers in baseball. And so that side of my family was baseball. And my dad, having just recently divorced my mom, is looking for something to do with his son that they can both enjoy and bond over. And so we played a lot of baseball.
Okay. Are you good in baseball?
No, I was terrible. Hence the guitar. So he started putting me in Little League and stuff, and well, actually, before that, one of my favorite things. I can't speak English either.
That was Italian and Chinese.
Yeah.
So the translator is, what the fuck?
I've been speaking. I've been speaking too much Spanish, so I'm trying to now think in English. Okay, where was I?
The baseball part, and also why
my dad liked baseball.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite things growing up, we used to sit on the couch at my dad's, and he would play me old movies. So I grew up on Abbott and Costello,
nice.
And Jerry Lewis and Dean Martin were my favorite people of all time.
Which one, Jerry or Dean?
I got a little bit of both, and that's actually really where it came from. Is I would watch Dean and Jerry, and I'd be like, man, if I could do this, like if I could be the funny guy like Jerry, but also like sing and get the girls like Dean, like that would be like the perfect mashup, you know? And I grew up on all these buddy comedies, so I was, I don't even think I saw a color movie until I was, 12, 13. It was like when I was little, it was all black and white buddy comedies, Bing Crosby, Bob Hope, Abbott and Costello, Martin and Lewis. And so that's where I kind of like learned my comedy, you know.
Okay.
And
it's a lot of physical comedy.
Yeah, totally. I mean, Dick Van Dyke, Jerry Lewis. I mean, those are my two. Like, those guys could literally just make walking funny, you know. And so my dad I started to imitate what I saw on TV, and I'd make voices and do characters, and for Halloween I'd be like, I want to be Charlie Chaplin for Halloween, and he's like, you're 6, like how do you know Charlie Chaplin? I'd walk like him, and with my cane. I grew up, we watched Buster Keaton and Harold Lloyd and Charlie Chaplin and Fatty Arbuckle and all the comedy all-stars, and my dad said, well, maybe acting could be something you'd be into. But we didn't. We lived about an hour south of LA, so we weren't like completely. It was accessible to us.
Yeah.
But my dad was in a counseling session one time, and he was in the waiting room, and he opened up a parenting magazine, and like in the back was like one of those. Does your kid want to be a star?
With our 40s voice, right?
Yeah. It was like, hey, wah, Hollywood, come bring your kids.
And the cigar.
I promise, they won't be harmed for the rest of their life.
No!
They won't be permanent damage. Like, trust me, Hollywood's a great place for them. Bring them on down. And there's a big man with a cigar and some sort of curtain they bring you behind. I don't know why, but I kind of blocked that part out of my memory. I don't remember what happened behind the curtain, but... So he said, maybe this is something that we could do. I could take my son to auditions. This would be something we could, do together. And so we went to some manager. I mean, it's like old school Hollywood. Like we went to some manager and she's like this lady behind a desk and she's asking me, do you want to, would you want to be an actor? And basically what I was hearing was, do you want to be on TV and play with the newest, greatest toys that are coming out for the Christmas season? Do you want to eat the sugary cereals? And is this something I was like just waiting for her to stop so I could be like, yes, I do. Cereal, toys, I'm in. Candy, like, let's go. So, and that's how Hollywood gets you, it's with the candy. Yeah. And so I started acting. We got a manager, and we were going to auditions, and I wasn't booking anything for like a year. It was just
Do you remember your first audition?
I don't remember my first audition, but I remember my first role.
Okay.
And I was 6 years old, and it was for a washing machine company, and the commercial was like, you spill something on the shirt, and the mom washes it, and it's like, look, I got the stain out. But what I had to do was I had to sit up against a tree stump. And I was eating popsicles, and the popsicles would like melt a little bit and like fall on my shirt.
Okay, how many takes?
That's where I'm like, all right, they're handing me popsicle after popsicle, and then they got to do different angles and they got to do close-ups, and I'm just sitting here, and this is all I have to do is just sit there and eat popsicles, and I'm like, this is acting?
This is like a dream job.
I'm like, I am the De Niro of popsicles. Like, give me another one. I got this. You want another? You want to eat it this way? Eat it this way? I mean, I can give you options, But I was just in love with it, and just the atmosphere of being on set. I was just like the cameras and the lights, and seeing what was on the camera, and then looking around and being like, whoa, that's like. There's behind the scenes and all the, and craft service and, and the school was really easy. I was like, they have school on set, but it's really just not, it's like.
Like a 2 hours thing?
Yeah, it's like 3 hours of some like, set teacher like, here, just do that, like. I was like, okay.
He wasn't a teacher.
She's like, yeah.
He was an actor.
Yeah. So I just fell in love with it, And then as I got older, I started booking TV shows. So I was on everything from like the Drew Carey Show, Seinfeld. Man, I can't even remember. Like every '90s sitcom, pre-Friends, I was doing a lot of that. And then booked my first movie, and then yada yada yada. You can check my IMDb. I don't remember everything.
I don't know, man. They say you were from Santa Ana.
Yeah, well, that's my Wikipedia. Yeah. Don't Wikipedia me. But I had, I had an audition for. I grew up on. I loving Nickelodeon and all that, and sketch comedy was just my. I loved SNL and Fridays and Mad TV and like.
Who's your top 5 SNL cast members?
Okay. Wow, it's
that's a hard one.
50 years of cast members. Okay. Well, we have to go with like some of the originals, like obviously Belushi, Aykroyd, Norm Macdonald.
You can say some living people also, right?
They're alive. Well,
no.
Belushi's not, but Aykroyd and
still alive.
Oh, Norm's not. You're right.
And Norm's not.
Oh, que triste. That's so sad. Norm is one of the greatest comedians of all time, and his Weekend Updates. I mean, he was by far the greatest.
Yeah.
Him and Chevy Chase were just the greatest Weekend Update guys.
I mean, he's an asshole, but he's a great comedian.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Chevy?
Yeah.
I was like, no, Norm's a nice guy.
Not Chevy, too.
Yeah, no, Chevy, yeah. But no, he, Jane Newman, Jane Curtin, Christopher Guest, Billy Crystal, Rob Schneider, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, David Spade. Obviously, like the newer, well, not the newer ones, but Will Ferrell. I'm leaving so many people out, but So anyway, I loved sketch comedy.
Okay.
And that would have been like a dream come true to do that. So I got an audition for the Amanda Show.
Amanda Show, yeah. With Amanda Bynes, right?
Yeah, with Amanda from All That. Now, on All That, I grew up on All That, and she was like the star to me. She was like Gilda Radner, to me, Gilda Radner, there's another great one. And so I went to the audition, and, before the audition, they told me I have to create 3 characters.
Okay.
And I have to write the material and come in and do these characters. Basically an SNL audition.
Okay.
And so I'm like talking to my dad, I'm like, 3 characters? But I have 100 characters.
Nice.
I'm like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna pick 3 that are gonna really like show me what I could do? And come on, like what do we, so we put together this like 2-minute monologue where I go through like 28 different characters.
28?
Yeah, I don't know how many, like 30 or something. And it's actually, it's online. Unfortunately, it was my second audition, and when I went to my second audition, like all the executives were in there, or it might have been my third, and all the executives were in there, and people I recognized from All That, and like Amanda was in there, and I was like, and so the audition that's online, I like get halfway through, and then I get so nervous because I'm like, I've seen all of these people on TV, and this is like the 3rd or 4th call. Like I'm really close to getting that. And
this is the real deal.
Then halfway through, I was like,
And that's my stutter impression.
Well, that's what one of them goes. Oh, it's your forgetful character. I was like, yes, this is a character that forgets everything. It's really, really a well thought out character. It took me a long time to work on. But so anyway, so I got the Amanda Show and did 2 seasons of that, which was amazing. We did the first season with just me, and there was a girl, Raquel Lee, really talented a girl, and then Johnny Cassier, Nancy Sullivan, and Amanda were the cast. And for the second season, I look at the call sheet, and I was the only guy. I was like the only young boy on the show. The other guy was an adult, so he'd like play the dad roles and all this. So I had like the pick.
You dominated.
Yeah, I had anytime there was a boy character, I was like, boom, all right.
This is my house.
Yeah, so I look at the call sheet, and it's like Josh Peck, and I'm like, Josh, that is definitely a boy's name. I'm like, Josh Peck. I'm like, I mean,
there was
this.
the 90s, right?
Well, yeah.
So right now, Josh
could be
a girl.
So I go, you can get me in trouble. So I go, but I know this kid, Josh Peck. Why do I know that name? Oh my God, it's the kid from Snow Day. Like I met him in Florida. We were doing a Double Dare 2000 in Florida. And it was Amanda Show versus Snow Day. So I'd met Josh before and knew that, he's this kid from New York. He was doing stand-up at like 10 years old, and like killing rooms. And so I'm getting like, oh no, like this kid's gonna come in and steal my thunder, like dang it. Well, luckily I'd already had established characters, Totally Kyle, Tony Pajamas, the Hillbilly Moments.
That was a mobster, right?
Yeah. And so, wait, actually, I take that back. We hadn't done Tony Pajamas yet.
Okay.
Pajamas. And so the second season comes around, we start doing stuff, and I'm we got the block blisters, like everything I'm doing is still with Amanda. And Josh is like coming in as like kind of ancillary characters, and me and the characters would be me and Amanda. But we come to Tony Pajamas. We got this sketch for Tony Pajamas where I play this basically Robert De Niro type of Goodfellas guy, and Josh was my consigliere. Consigliere, yeah, whatever. Consigliere, as they say in Analyze This.
That's a great movie, by the way.
Great movie.
Yeah.
It's my consigliere. Okay. But he goes, so, shoot, I just thought of like 30 lines from that movie that are making me laugh now. Okay. I was gonna repeat one, but I can't.
Don't worry,
it's
man.
too dirty.
You can do an impression.
No,
of
but
Robert De Niro.
but when he
Or Billy
so it's so funny when he's like, yeah, I'm having an issue with my mistress. He's like, don't you have a wife? He's like, she kisses my children with that mouth. Anyway, so she goes.
Well, I love in the sequel when he's with the mistress.
Yeah.
And then Billy Crystal goes and, hey, come on, man. I have a 13-year-old boy. Okay, let me ask.
Yeah. Let me ask. So he goes. So he's playing my like counterpart, and we're just having a blast. So I'm like, we're getting the accents down, and like he's from New York, so super easy for him. I'm like a California kid with no accent, and so we're like having fun with it. And we get into the dressing room, and we're getting hair and makeup, and they're slicking our hair back, and we're just flying. So we're just ad-libbing back and forth to each other. The whole room's laughing and cracking up, and I'm like, all right, I think I can vibe with this new kid in class, you know? And well, it got time to do the scene, and
you found the abbot of your Costello.
Well, that's where I'm getting.
Okay.
So check this out. It was crazy. We go in, we do the scene, and there's a part where. So we're playing like babysitters that are hired to babysit Amanda, and we come in and she's like, I want to hear a bedtime story, and I'm like, all right. So I was, I was riding my bike one time, all right, and I fall off my bike. The kickstand goes right through my leg, okay, and she's like, ew, and I'm like, you're telling me, ew? There was blood and guts like all over the pavement, and she's like, ugh, I don't like this story. And then Josh comes down and leans over and he's like, hey, boss, she don't like this story. And I'm like, hey, I got ears. And then Josh, he goes, she don't like this story. I got ears. And then he looks at Amanda and goes, he's got ears. And it killed just the way, he's got ears. And I looked at it, I was like, and I just started cracking up laughing. And I'm like, oh man, and Josh hates when I break. But so, and he's like, oh, come on, man. Like, we had it. And I was like, I'm sorry, you're so I didn't know you were going to say it like that. Like, you didn't do it one time like that in rehearsal. Like, that's hilarious. And so he does it again. And then he goes, hey, I got ears. And then he does it bigger just to, like, mess with me. He's like, he's got ears. And I was like, oh, my God. And so I'm laughing again. I'm ruining the whole scene. And then I'm like, all right. I pull it together. I'm like, okay, we're going to get this. And then he's like, he's got ears. And I held it together. And I smack him in the back of the head. And his hat flies off. And he goes, what was that for? And I go, for being an idiot. And he just goes, okay. And the way he says, okay, I crack up again. And I'm dying laughing. And Josh is like, come on, man. And I'm like, dude, when did you, like, you're killing me. It's like, it's so funny. So anyway. Finally, I go to like 2 or 3 of those where I'm breaking because it's so funny. And then finally we get through the whole thing. The audience is dying, the crew, camera crew, everyone's laughing, cracking up. And I look over to Josh and I'm like, I swear, like everything went like silent on the set. And this like beam of light from the comedy gods in heaven, like shine down on Josh. And I looked at him and I was like, oh my God. He's talking really loud. Is he in the club still? My friend, he works in clubs.
Oh yeah.
And he talks as if he's always in a club. Like he's 2 rooms away and I can hear him. It's crazy.
He's drunk.
Yeah, well, and that too.
I mean, you had to.
It's all exactly.
Bars.
But so the light is shining down and I'm like, no way. Like, bro. The club was last night.
I'm sorry, but it is your friend.
It's my fault.
I'm not going to apologize for your friend.
I brought him.
That's on you, man.
Yeah. So no, but I looked at Josh and I was like, oh my God, this is what I grew up on. This is what I've always wanted. I've always wanted like the Abbott to my, the Costello to my Abbott, the Lewis to my Martin. Like, oh my God, like this is freaking it. Like, no way. And so we started to get paired together more, and then it became like, anytime we had something to do, they try to put Josh and I together as much as we could. And every time we had something to do, we just started riffing off each other. He was so funny. We could ad lib. We could make we were like perfect for each other.
Yeah.
And so later on, we became. We got the offer from the executive producer and asked, would you guys like to be on your own show and do your own thing? And I was like, yeah, like of course. And then we went on to be Drake and Josh, and it's just crazy, like growing up and watching all of these buddy duos, just dreaming of one day being able to do something like that, and then becoming a part of like, not to
your own legacy.
People tell me, like one of the most iconic comedy duos in town, so it was like, I mean, it's like living in a dream.
Dream. I saw an interview when you said the idea of the Drake and Josh show went from this fight over a shrimp. It was a sketch.
Yeah. So that's how it came about. So we were doing an episode of Amanda where we would often play ourselves and give like a behind the scenes kind of feel for the show.
Okay.
And in the script, it said Drake and Josh fight over a shrimp. Like a shrimp falls from the sky, and Drake and Josh fight over it. And there's no dialogue or anything. It was just that was it.
Okay, this is full improv.
Yeah.
All right.
And so, we were walking, and and to preface this, Nickelodeon had told the executive producer they were looking for like a buddy comedy. So if he had any ideas, and they're looking at other stuff, writers and stuff, for a buddy comedy. So Josh and I are walking along, and this like cooked crustacean, kind of falls to the floor from the heavens. I don't know why, but Josh looks and he's like, "Hey, a shrimp," and I'm like, "Huh, I want it." And then Josh is like, "No, but I want it." I'm like, "No, I want it." And then we just go into this full-on, brawl over this shrimp where Josh is like, like, "I enjoy shellfish," and I'm like, "Stop! There's, stay away from the shrimp. There's nothing to see." And we're just riffing, And one of the writers leaned over to the executive producer and like kind of, was like, "Hey, there's your buddies right there." And so that gave him the idea to write Drake and Josh, and he wrote a pilot, presented it to us, and
you did that sketch on the 4th season of Drake and Josh.
That was actually the very last thing that we ever did on the Drake. Before we did come back for Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh, and
for the movies, right?
For the movie. But the last thing that we shot on Drake and Josh was the episode Really Big Shrimp, and Megan brings the shrimp at the end of the episode. Megan brings the shrimp into the room, and we walk in, and there's one shrimp left, and we fight over the shrimp. So, and it was really kind of emotional when because everybody who was working on the show worked on Amanda's show with us, and we grew up. Everyone was the same. So we were a huge family, and it was just really sentimental to have us fighting over this shrimp, and then
how this begins.
Yeah, and it's like how we started, and then we fight over the shrimp, and we end the scene, and we got up, and everyone's applauding, and it was just, and crying, and how when you wrap a show, it's really sentimental.
I imagine it's really hard.
It's hard because it's your family. You're with them every day, especially in our formative years. When we've
How many years you worked together?
We were there for 5 years.
Okay.
I started Drake and Josh when I was 15, and we ended when I was either about to turn 20 or I just turned 20.
Okay.
And so we did it for 5 years, and it was just really sentimental, like how goofy of like we're fighting over this grilled shrimp and cocktail sauce, and at the end, we kind of just like looked at each other, looked at the set, and was like, wow, what a trip! Like, this is really the end of an era, and how we got here, how we started, and it was a nice little button for the end to kind of end it how we began.
I know. I mean, I don't know. I never been in a series so long. Yeah. I'm trying to be empathic, all right?
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite episode of Drake and Joe's? And the least favorite episode?
I don't know if I have a least favorite episode. I think my most favorite episode is the treehouse episode. I really like Vicious Tiberius, the one with the dog that we have to go babysit the dog at Miss Hafer's house. Because I think anywhere that Josh and I are in close quarters and we're stuck somewhere, and there's not much to do, but it's just all us playing off of each other. It just makes me laugh. Us being stuck in the bathroom and being afraid of the dog and trying to figure out how to get out of the bathroom, and then he's, counts down from 3 to 1. He's like, all right, I'm gonna open the door on 3, and then I'm like 1, 2, 3, and then I slam it at the door, and I'm like, dude, and he's like, you didn't say go, and I'm like, okay, 1, 2, 3, go, all right. And so, but just these like simple scenarios, just I don't know, we really fed off of those, like finding the comedy where there's not a joke. And that's, I think what we did so well was there's so many times where obviously we see the written joke, but Josh and I would get together and we got to a point where we didn't even have to talk to each other. We would just give each other a look, and I'd be like, oh, okay, I know what you're gonna do with this. All right, I'll set you up for it, or vice versa, I would know. He'd be like, wait, I was thinking. I'm like, don't worry, I'll set you up. I got it.
I got you.
I know exactly what's in your brain right now. And it's crazy because even years later, when I went to do Grandfathered with Josh.
Oh yeah, you did a cameo.
I did an episode of Grandfathered, and we hadn't worked together for 10 years, and we got on set, and it was like we never stopped. I mean, the second I got on the set with him and we started doing our scene, I was like, whoa, this is weird. We have such a we're so simpatico when we're on screen together.
Yeah.
That there's just it just was so natural, and I was like whoa, we still have that connection,
And it wasn't the script that you said, you remember my stepbrother?
No, they didn't have a good button for the end of the scene. And so me and Josh, I kind of pulled Josh aside. I was like, well, dude. And the writers kept giving us different lines to end the scene, and nothing was really hitting as because there's always the button of a sitcom, the button of a scene is that you got to leave you on a joke, and it just wasn't hitting. And so I pulled Josh aside. I was like, dude, let's just give him some suggestions. And then I thought, let's just look. I'm here for the fan. Obviously, this is a cool thing for the Drake and Josh fans. So I'm like, let's just throw in a Drake and Josh reference. I'm like, let's just do that. And then I was like, why don't you start to walk in? And I go, you remind me of my brother. And then and then Josh was like, I was like, say something oh, why is he really cool? And then I'll just be like, no, he's in jail for stalking Oprah. Ooh. And then everyone was like, oh my God, that's the joke. They're like, yes, that's the one. And then, so we taped a bunch of different lines, but when I watched the show, I was like, yes, my line got in there. They used the Oprah line.
Now I'm a writer.
Yeah, and now fans, and now fans always reference that episode of
it was great.
It was such a great throwback. Yeah.
How often do you get asked to do the wow, just take it easy, man?
Oye, tranquilo, viejo. Well, tonight I think was 900,332.
Are you tired of that?
No, I love it. It's to be able to have such iconic lines, because you always grow up. All the shows you watched growing up had these catchphrases that you loved and made you feel nostalgic, and you couldn't wait for the characters to say them. And so, no, I love it. And it's really interesting. We were talking before we started filming just a minute ago about watching shows in different translations and how some don't really translate well. Something's really funny in English, or something's really funny in Spanish, and then you translate it to English and you're like, huh? And then you translate it to Spanish, you're like, what? This isn't funny. But for some reason, Drake and Josh did it really well. And they also, Lalo, who played played Josh on the he did the voice of Josh, and he directed the
Lalo. Sí, sí.
Yeah, did the
Saludos a Lalo.
Did the version here in Mexico, and he just did an incredible job. Like he got the voices right, he got the cadence right. Like the guy who played Drake,
Enzo.
Yeah, Enzo. He killed it. Like he had the.
He's good, right?
He had the like I would watch it and I'm like, is that me speaking in Spanish? Like it sounds like my voice. That's exactly how I would have delivered the line. And it's funny because it translates really well. And so in America, it's a different line, but it kind of means the same thing. But it's whoa, just take it easy, man. And here it's oye, tranquilo, viejo. I think it's funnier in Spanish.
I just have a semi-hard. Así se dice, se me paró tantito.
You know I speak enough Spanish to understand what you're saying.
How did you?
So this is a late night show, right?
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Don't watch this at breakfast.
You can be free. Come on.
So I totally lost my train of thought now. Where was I?
Yeah. Oye, tranquilo, viejo.
Oh, yeah. But it translates. But people love that line in English. So when I'm in America, people are always like, "Hey, can you do a video with me where we say, whoa, just take it easy, man?" And then here it's, "Oh, puedes decir, oye, tranquilo, viejo," and it's like, it's just it's a daily
they
daily
did a
request.
version with one of my catchphrases.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I would start doing comedy, I mean, becoming, ¿cómo se dice? Viral. Yeah. So they put my face, or just the hat, I don't remember, but they say, "Oye, tranquilo, puñetas."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They sent it to me. I'm like 9 years ago. I love it. Yeah. I mean, it sounds better. I have to be honest with you. I didn't watch the show when he came out. No, man, come on, man. Wait. I had to explain. Mainly because I was in my 20s. I was working, and I didn't have cable. So, yeah. So I but I started watching the show with my kids, and my daughter Azul she's a huge fan. And but I'm more a fan of your music, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like 10, 15 years ago. I started listening to your songs, but I have to say, I mean, ¿cómo lo digo para no cagarla? Okay, no lo digo. No. I mean, By the Ocean is the last one. I have to ask, is that did you were influenced by soul or funk or?
Well, I have a very eclectic taste in music, so I'm pretty much influenced by everything.
Okay.
But this song, my new album has. It's basically like a diary, you know.
Okay.
Like I don't write in a diary. I write songs, so. They're all about my life. I mean, you can go back to Telegraph, my first album, my second album, and you know, it's some heavy stuff. And it's just I can only write about the experiences I'm having in my life, you know. And but this album is really lengthy. It's 25 songs.
Okay.
And I started writing it like 3 years ago. Started working on it, and I didn't know if I was going to make a record. I was just writing songs, and then just song after song after song kept coming, and then I would record, and then I'd be like, oh, cool, these are great 10 songs for this new album, and then I'd write 5 more, and then I'd be like, oh, well, okay, now it's 15 songs, because these have to go on the record, and then I'd write 5 more, and I'm like, all right, it's 20 songs, like, okay, but those have to go on the record, because, geez, this is what's going on, and then stuff kept happening in my life, and then ended up being like a crazy record, and I'd gone into the studio, and I was like, just mentally exhausted, you know, and emotionally just like worn out, and I'm like, I don't want to write a song today that's like gonna like tear my soul apart.
Okay.
You know? It's like I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Like I just want to just goof off and screw around in the studio. And so we came up with this like, and I was like, yeah, let's just do something like this funny, stupid, funky thing.
Okay.
And then I was like, all right, but what are the lyrics gonna be? You know, I'm like, all right, well, I'm like, I don't know, just give me the microphone and I'll just like riff, and if stuff comes out like and it's good, like whatever. So I was like, and a lot of times when you write lyrics, you're like, you kind of just go like, but I got no money. And you're like, oh, I got no money. Okay, that works. Hang on, write down. Okay,
that's true.
I got no money. Yeah. Very true. So, you know, I got no money, and I'm like, okay, that works. And I was like, 20, but the other thing sounded like bunny, like, oh, okay, 24, 24 carats makes you my bunny, like a 24 carat ring, but like bunny, like makes you my girl, like, okay, but it's carrots, and bunny's like carrots, and I was like just goofing off, you know? And then but I got no money, and then I love the show Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's like one of my favorite shows.
Show. Are you a fan of Larry Davis, right?
Of who?
Of Larry Davis.
Oh, I love Curb. Curb's my show, dude.
Okay.
Like that's, yeah, I mean, I love Larry David.
Okay.
He's a genius. But so...
and I ask that because some people doesn't like the acid humor.
Yeah, like that style.
They don't like villains.
Yeah.
And they are villains.
Yeah.
And Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
They're very,
assholes.
Total.
Yeah.
I love that style of humor. And
Yeah.
a lot of my friends, you're right, like, they're like, oh, I don't like Curb Your Enthusiasm. It makes me really uncomfortable. I'm like, yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
Like, that's the point. Like, Larry says everything that's in our heads that we won't say in public because we'd be an asshole.
And there's no script.
Yeah, and there's no, I mean, that's crazy. With how funny it is and the way, to have no script is incredible. Everyone on that show is amazing. But so I love Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and so I was like, I'm gonna make you my money. Get some more bees with honey. That's good because I got no money. And then I was like, something sunny. I was like, oh, like Philly. I'm always sunny, you know. Okay. And so I threw that in. And then when we got to the chorus, I was like, spend my last dollar on this bus to the beach. And I'm like, hey, what rhymes with beach? I was like, each, teach, bleach.
Bitch.
I'm like, bleach rhymes with beach, but what the fuck are you gonna do with bleach at the beach? And I was like, whatever, let's just try it. And I was like, so I brought my hand sanitizer and a bottle of bleach, and then everyone's like,
people are like, why?
Yeah, people are like, why are you bringing hand sanitizer and a bottle of bleach to the beach? I'm like, obviously you've never been to beaches in Los Angeles.
Nice.
Because let me tell you,
you
go to Venice, you need like a tub of hand sanitizer and a tub of bleach.
And a gas mask.
And a gas mask just to get through it. But so no, it was just nonsense, you know, I was just saying nonsense, and I had a lot of fun with it, and I thought it was a total ridiculous song that I would never release, and I was like, this is just, I was just messing around today. But then I was in the car with some friends, and I'm like, hey, you guys want to hear this stupid song I just wrote? It's like totally ridiculous. And I played it, and everyone was like, oh shit, like they're like, dude, play that again. Like, yeah, this is the song.
Oh, so like, you have some stupid friends.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the best friends, man. Yeah, you need stupid people around.
I do. Truer words have never been spoken. So but they're like, oh, play that song again. And then everyone's like, dude, you got to release that song. You about that song? And I'm like, bro, it was a joke. Like, it's not going to go on my album of my heartfelt songs of my life, you know?
Why not?
Like,
you're a funny guy.
And then I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like, let's go in and actually like produce this song out and see what happens. And then we just had fun with it and got to make the music video and had fun with that and made, you know, it's just this like silly song. And it's great reading the comments in YouTube because it's not a song that, like, if someone's like, this is the worst song I've ever heard, I'm like, that's the point. I'm like, you get it. Like, or someone's like, oh, this song sounds like what you would get if you asked AI to write a song. And I'm like, yep, that's thank you too. And then people are like, this is the worst song I've ever heard, but I can't stop listening to it and it's stuck in my head. I'm like, everything is, you know, I'm like, wow, this is the first time I've like read bad comments about my art and been like, yeah, you get it. Like, this is supposed to be bad,
That's
you know?
the point.
Like, what are you doing with Bleach at the Beach? This song makes no sense. I'm like, exactly.
Your
like,
mother doesn't make sense.
Yeah. But so it was just a fun, you know, and it was the last song, one of the last songs that I had written for the record. And so it was fun to just kind of end this like 3-year journey of finishing this crazy record. that has a total crazy concept. I don't know where I came up. I was trying to think the other day, like, where did I come up? Why are we on an airplane? And why is it like, so the artwork is all like you're in a 1970s airplane, like Pan Am style, like the golden era of commercial flight. When you know, every seat was first class, you dress up in a suit, they bring the
smoke was allowed.
Yeah, you could smoke and the champagne.
That was the days, brother.
Yeah, so now, you know, you're in your pajamas and your hoodie and your headphones and your pillow and you're like, you know, in your tiny little seats.
Some lady calling on aliens.
Yeah. And so I really love that aesthetic. So I had that be like all the artwork, and then I started incorporating all of those elements in the song. So like you hear the airplane sounds, and I reference airplane and flying in the lyrics, and then I was like, oh, we should be on an airplane, you know, like the album should be like. So when you put your headphones on, you press play, and it's like, doo-doo-doo-doo, bing, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, thank you for flying with Bel Air, and welcome to our flight, and we're gonna have this, da-da-da, and they, like a flight attendant comes on and kind of like, you know, buckle your seatbelt, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. And then the first song starts, and then I come on as the captain.
They do the Macarena and
yeah,
stuff,
yeah, exactly. They show the, you know, this is the exit. You know, parachutes are over here, but we only have 4 of them for the captain and the crew. But they, so it just became this whole huge concept, and of being on this like musical journey through the skies. And throughout the whole record, there's, you know, you hear the captain come on and talk to you and take you into the next songs, and the flight attendants and the sounds of the aircraft, and coming in for the landing and the takeoff and everything. And turbulence, like we have, you know, oh, we're going through some rough patches, there's some turbulence, then we have like these rock songs come on in that area. And it just became this like really fun kind of like concept album. And we're finally coming to the end. It's coming out in October, and it's crazy. Like I've been listening to. I don't have we don't have it completely finished, mastered, ready like yet. But I'm listening to like it as roughs, and it's like such a trip to have this crazy idea of this like massive undertaking of an album, and then you like listen to it in its entirety, and you're like, whoa, like this is 2 hours of. Like, you could literally put it on from a flight to Mexico to Monterrey and be like, okay, great. Like, that, you know, and have this whole crazy journey.
And that's
really cool.
the old school way, you know? They used to, the albums used to be a theme.
Yeah, well,
I think that's cool.
I really am heavily influenced by, like, you know, the Beatles and...
I know, and I'm gonna...
The Magical Mystery Tour, Magical Mystery Tour, Sgt. Pepper, like... I think more so Magical Mystery Tour is probably one of my biggest inspirations for this record, and just in general. I think that's just such a masterpiece, and it really does. If you really like take it song by song, that record, you realize like, oh my gosh, like they're leading us up. Like there's a whole story.
Yeah, there's a story
that you can like roll up. You know, get your tickets. We're taking you on this Magical Mystery Tour. And if you just think of that as like a song, and then the next song as a song, but you like, if you like really like sit there and kind of go psychedelic with it, you know, like you know, you get a little mushroom tea before you you know, but you can really find a linear line through each song, and it blows your mind when it's all leading up to the last song on the album is All You Need Is Love. You're like, oh my God, you've been leading me to this like the whole time. Like you couldn't tell me the secret until the very end. And it's, you know, you can get psychedelic with it, but that really influences like, it's hard now with it's all singles, and you're just like, you got to drop a single a week and a single a month, and there's nobody listens to full albums, and you're like, or like an EP, or like, I'm like, nah, man, like this is what so I wanted to make this crazy, massive concept album, which is pretty cool.
And why did you decide to record La Camisa Negra?
Well, I would play it live at concerts. La Camisa Negra is actually on the record. I would play it live at concerts, and people would just freak out, and they would love it, you know? And so when I went in to make the record, I had like Te Desenamoraste on there, and I have another song called I Found Love it's in Spanglish, it's like Spanglish, and Fuego Lento, Diosa, and I've been like but I loved La Camisa Negra. I love the song, and it's so much fun to play on the guitar. I love that guitar riff, and yeah.
Okay.
And I love that guitar riff, and which he must
also,
too, because he uses it in 2 songs. I'm like, wait, that's the La Camisa Negra guitar riff. I can't remember the name of the other song, but I'm like, that's the same riff. You like that riff. But it's fun to play on the guitar, and it's really fun to play live because the audience gets so into it. And then when I was making the record, we have a section of where you're flying over Mexico, and they're like, look out the windows, and you'll see the pyramids and the
Yeah.
That was French. I think of too many things in my brain, and my brain gets ahead of my words that are coming out of my mouth, so I get a little tongue-tied.
That's funny. My brain doesn't think at all.
Yeah, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was like, oh, we should put La Camisa Negra on the record. So I recorded it and then released it as a single. And
also, speaking of te desenamoraste, that's a very hard Spanish word to say. And it's
it took me a while to get
entirely in
that
Spanish. What was it like writing it? Was it in English and someone translated for you, or someone helped you with the grammar?
That's the difficult thing about writing in Spanish is you can't really like I can't write a song and then just like give it to someone and be like, okay, just translate that. And they're like, well, we wouldn't really say this. And the way to say this, it's going to be too many syllables.
Maybe the rhymes.
And it's not going to rhyme. It's not going to work. So I work with a couple of really talented songwriters in different situations, and it becomes like, all right, here's what I want to say. Here's the idea. Let's try. So it's kind of a collaborative effort.
Because you use the word intenso, and that's a new word.
Mm-hmm.
So
we just came up with it.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Does he know what intenso means?
Yeah. It means intense.
Yeah, but in English you don't use that word, right?
Yeah, we use that word.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I never heard of it.
Yeah.
I thought you used
intense
toxic or something like that.
No, it could be intense. It could be toxic. It could be.
But intense in a relationship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, oh man, she's intense. Like, I can't deal with her anymore. She's too intense. Like, she's too toxic. She's a nightmare.
Too toxic.
Yeah.
We really know that you composed the Drake and Josh Team, which is a song that talks about friendship. Mm-hmm. But that was the Drake as a kid. The new Drake, or this older Drake, is deeper.
And has no friends.
You're better alone. What does
You're
this
better
Drake?
alone. Oh, how many times I've heard that.
What does this Drake prefer to talk about in songs? What is the main difference between this Drake and the
honestly,
kids?
it's a lot of the same stuff. I mean, it's really just what's going on in my world at the time, you know. And it's like, I think becoming a dad has a lot to do with, you know, my approach to songwriting. Just relationships. It's sort of kind of from the same place, just in a different point in my life.
Because now you're married and you have a son, right?
Well, I'm no longer married, but thanks for bringing that up. That's not a sore spot at all.
Fucking Wikipedia, man. How long you been separated? I mean, I don't use it.
Empty. Are you married?
I'm married, yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. 23
Don't ask
years.
me any advice.
Okay. I got this.
Ask me no advice.
Okay.
She's an incredible mom. I mean, we have a great relationship, and we have a beautiful son, and he's incredible, and she's just a wonderful, wonderful woman, and an incredible mom, and I'm, you know, although we're not together, I mean, I couldn't be more blessed.
Sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
She's amazing.
Let's talk about music. All right?
Yeah.
All right. I want to thank you for the song. I Cannot Relate. I really love it. And
Thank you.
I'll tell you that I kind of related too. But why is there a reference to a Barmicil commercial? I mean, that put me out. Like, why?
Well, it's actually interesting. So, I've gone through some shit. And when I was going through some pretty heavy stuff in my life, I was able to do it's like stories of my life, like little sprinklets of little things and throughout my life. And I was at home and I was like wasn't touring and wasn't really working much, and I got a random call from Barmicil, and they're like, "Hey, we'd love to do a campaign with you." And I'm like, "What is this? Okay, like, wow, the phone's ringing at least. Like, let's check it out." And I got to do a really great campaign. That's how I met Lalo.
Yeah.
And it was just at a point in my life that I was like, "What am I gonna do?" And how am I gonna make any money? And what am I like? I don't feel like touring, and I'm not making records right now. I don't know. I was like in a blue mood, and it was kind of like a knight in shining armor, like coming in and like kind of boosting. And then I came back to Mexico and I met Lalo and we did the commercial and I was on set again and everything was great. And it just like kind of gave me like this like boost of like, bro, get the hell up and like,
nice.
You can keep,
it's kind of weird, no? Like,
you can keep going,
A cream saved you?
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's like, apply twice daily and it'll bring you back to life. But so in the commercial, in the music video, I was like, okay, let's put like little references. Like if you look in the Drake and Josh bedroom, there's like, it says like Mexico, the Mexico flag, because we would have the American flag. So I replaced it with the Mexico flag. There's like items in the room that I actually saved from the Drake and Josh set and like put in so there were actually things from the show in there, and then the Barmicil thing. It was just like these little like just references that to me like meant a lot, of like where I'm coming through. And then that was in the part where I say, I found love in Mexico and nobody wants to hear me in the States, and kind of gives me like, it's just like just these little Easter eggs.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the most powerful phrase is, I found beauty in my pain. That's a beautiful line.
That was the first line I wrote.
What did you mean by that?
That was the first line I wrote. I sat down at the piano. I think it was one of the first songs I wrote for the record. But I just like ding, ding, I kind of relate. And it just like came out. A lot of times it's just stream of consciousness when I'm writing, and it's like, I found beauty in my pain. And it was just like, it like hit me powerful. It was like so powerful because there's a lot of times when, I think when you're writing like stream of consciousness, it's things come out that are inside that you wouldn't necessarily like think of. It just kind of like comes out and you're like, whoa, like, and I just been it was a really dark period, and I was going through so much, but also there were like beautiful things happening in this dark period. I have my son, and it's like, what, how are these great things happening, while all of this tragedy is happening at the same time, and if I focus on all the tragedy and just, listen to all the naysayers and everybody out in the world, and, take that to heart, well, then it's just gonna be pure pain, and I'm just gonna be destroyed. And then also like bringing up things in my past, which we've, have come to light recently, and things that I've gone through and I've held inside for so long. Finally, like kind of getting it out, going to therapy, being with my son, having good things happen in this time of just total darkness. I was like, wait a minute, like I could use these painful moments to transcend and like do better and be a better father and be a better person, and and there was a beauty in that, and that came from, and I would sit there and I would think like, man, I wonder if I would recognize all of these great things and take these opportunities if I hadn't had the pain as well, you know? So it was kind of like, wow, there's like a, you know, as much as it hurts and as hard as it is to go through and as much as it just stays in you for the rest of your life, like there's a beauty in having that and like take ownership of it. It's like, you know, because you think through your whole life, you're like, why did this happen to me? And why did I have to go through that? And, you know, you beat yourself up and you blame yourself and you go through all of this horrible shit. And then you realize like, wait a second, okay, so like, I like who I am. My friends like me. I like who I am when I'm alone by myself, creating art or watching a movie, whatever it is that you do when you're by yourself, you know, and you're like, I like that person. And that person came from all that.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a beauty in that pain somewhere, you know, in being able to, you know, would I be the person that I like right now, like without having all of that? And it was a struggle coming to that realization because for so many years in my life, I just was, you know,
yeah, I think
I was shaded by all of that. I was like, okay, this happened to me, so I'm damaged goods. I can never be the person I want to be. I'll never be what, you know, the kind of person I want to be with others. I'll never be the you know, and slowly and through a lot of work, you know, you kind of come out on the other side and you realize like, wait a second, like that all is part of my story. Yeah. That could help me help others. That could help me be the person that I want to be. Maybe that happens so that I can do this. And then that's where, you know, I kind of relate. And then I kind of relate is like, wait a second, like, because you go through your whole life when you go through the junk that I've been through going, nobody understands me. Nobody's been through, you don't get me.
Yeah.
You don't know what's happened to me.
Know.
You haven't been through what I've been through. And then you start to, you know, go into group settings of like therapy or into, you know, AA type situations, and you're hearing all these stories and you're like, holy shit, I'm not alone. What happened to you? That happened to you too? This happened to you? Wait, okay, whoa, all right. Well, if that happened to you, I'll share my story, like, because that was really heavy and that was really brave of you to tell that. Like, okay, so, and then you start to like work through it, and all this stuff that you kept inside, you start like processing it and working through it, and you realize like, whoa, I'm not alone. People do understand me. There are people, and now I can share my story, and maybe I can tell people like, hey, no, like I relate to you.
Yeah, don't feel ashamed.
Yeah. And so that lyric, you know, I kind of relate. I found beauty in my pain, you know, so that, I don't know, it just came out like to kind of be that voice to other people saying like, dude, like, you're not alone. Like, you're not the only one going through this stuff. So, like, you know.
You're not alone. That's the line.
Yeah.
Well, the first time I heard the song, I was amazed by the chord progression, the vocal arrangement. I was thinking, this is some Sgt. Pepper shit right here. And I like to listen to a song, and after that, I search for the lyrics. And then I was, okay, again, but with the lyrics. And I was imagining the moment you wrote that, and I was thinking, maybe he's remember that the first time you realize, I'm not a victim, I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful, man. And I respect that.
And I think it's also taking ownership. You know, it's like there's lyrics in the song where it's like, you know, I know I've done wrong, but I'm going to make it right. I know I've done wrong. It's, you know, it's like that playing the victim and also realizing like, hey, you know, there was like, you know, I kind of relate. The wrong decisions that I've made. My golden days seem so far away, so I'm running away. And so there's like all these things of like, you know, understanding that your past plays a big role in who you become, but also deflecting every responsibility you've ever made in your life because something bad happened to you or something that doesn't help you at all. You know, you have to really take ownership. And so it just kind of became this song of like, you know, I've had shit happen. I've made bad decisions. I've fallen down. I've hurt other people. I've been hurt. I'm just, you know, I'm human.
Yeah.
And it became sort of a song of just kind of coming to terms and understanding just, you know, what the hell it is to just be a human on this planet and that other people go through the same shit, you know?
Yeah. That this is more personal because maybe people is going to be like, come on, Franco. But in the song Terrific, you say, reason can compete with the drug that shares your name. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to figure out who do you wrote this? Did you write this song for you, for fame, for a person?
That was written with a songwriter named Sanjay Lerke, who's he's one of my favorite songwriters. And so a lot of those lyrics came from him, but what I see that is the drug that shares your name is, you know, she is the drug.
Okay.
You know, I wouldn't say like I was dating a girl named Tusi or anything like that. You know.
This is my girlfriend.
Yeah, this is my girlfriend Tusi. Her name shares the drug. Shares the name with the drug.
This is their sister Crack.
Yeah, yeah. This is her brother, methamphetamines. It's a very weird family. I don't understand. Their parents were hippies.
They're intense as fuck.
But yeah, it's just and there's a lot of lyrics in that song that I really love that I relate to, like and there you are on cue where the light falls, waving at strangers, wearing your name out. Like it's sort of like being a star and being putting yourself on a pedestal and eating it all up, and really it's like, oh, well, aren't you terrific? Well, look at you. Aren't you so terrific now? And you're like, dude, you have no idea. Like, you're so lame. Like, you are not what you think you are. Like, knock it off.
Okay, you have participated in more than 20
And
films.
that could be about somebody, or it could be about things that I've... Could have been a little self-reflective, maybe a little bit.
Okay. Let me do
I
it
talk
again.
a lot, so
Okay.
sorry.
There's this fan theory that says that Drake and Josh were not do the Reborn, like a new series or new movie, because there was this script that left Drake in a bad light. Is that true? It's a fan theory.
Oh man, I don't know. You know, Josh and I would love to get back together. We would love to do something together again one day. You know, it'd just have to be really creative and fun, and yeah.
Okay, next question. I love your performance in superhero movie. It's one of my fucking comedy favorite movies.
Oh, thank
yeah,
you.
man.
That was so much fun to do.
Yeah, I mean, what was it like working with stars like Kevin Hart, Leslie Nielsen, and my personal hero, Christopher McDonald, a.k.a. Shooter McGavin?
God. I love Christopher McDonald. He's
funny.
He's so funny. He's such a great actor. But he just was so funny, and honestly, I mean, I've been doing this for so long that I've worked with so many people. You know there's good ones and there's bad ones.
Okay.
There's ones that you're like, I was a nightmare working with him. Like, he was just so rude and wasn't prepared, or like, just, he was great on screen, but like, you don't want to work with him off screen. Like, he's just not a good, you know. But Chris was just incredible. I mean, he was like so funny, so nice, so kind to the crew, so kind to everybody, such a pleasant, like, just the whole, every time he was on set, you just, like, everything felt relaxed. He was just one of the nicest actors I've ever worked with. He was just incredible. I mean, I would love to work with him again. a lot of actors I've had the opportunity to work with multiple times, but I only worked with him once, and it was a bummer because he's just incredible. He's the kind of guy that, like, at the end of the shoot, we ran out of budget because we had to go back and reshoot.
Okay.
We were basically a spoof of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But then the Weinsteins, who produced the movie,
Greetings.
Bob was like, "Oh, it needs to be more like Scary Movie. You need to have more. There's not enough superheroes in it." We're like, well, "Yeah, it's a spoof on Spider-Man."
Yeah.
He's like, "No, it's like X-Men. Like, you put the X-Men in there and put Superman in there." And I'm like, "It's a spoof on Spider-Man."
Yeah.
Like, so they basically like changed half the movie, and that sucked up our budget because we had to go back after we'd already finished the movie. We had to go back and reshoot like 2 weeks, 3 weeks of we had to basically shoot another movie. And so at the end of the movie, you always have a wrap party.
Yeah.
And we didn't have a budget for a wrap party. Like, we were just
no
like,
money.
yeah, there was no money. And so we were like, it was the last day of shooting. And Chris comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, I feel really bad. Like, crew's been working so hard on this movie, and there's no, you're just gonna yell cut, and then everyone's gonna go home, and there's no wrap party, there's no like celebrating the crew and everybody's involvement, and getting to celebrate at the end." And he's like, "Let's do something at the end of the day." It was our last day of shooting. He's like, "Let's do something at the end of the day." Like, he's like, "I'll order a bunch of champagne. I'll just like, have a bunch of champagne delivered, and we'll get like some, get someone to cater, and we'll just like do the wrap party here, and just like at cut, we'll wheel everything in." I'm like, "Bro, I'll go in halves." I'm like, "That's a great idea. Like, let's do it." Like, he's like, "All right, cool." So then at the end of the shoot, they're like, "All right," and nobody knew. Like, only me and Chris
was
knew.
a surprise for the crew.
And then they were like, "All right, and cut. That's a wrap." And then the elephant doors open, and they like wheeled in all this like champagne and catering, and we had the wrap party there. But that was what it was like working with him. Like, he just was.
He's a good person.
A really good person. And working with Leslie Nielsen was just incredible. I mean, come on.
Leslie Nielsen.
I mean, we Police Squad, Naked Gun.
Naked Gun is...
it's amazing. And the Zucker brothers who made the Naked Gun movies and the Airplane movies. I mean, Airplane, So working with Leslie was just incredible. Also, a really, really funny guy. He loves his fart machine. He has this little thing, and it's like it's got like goo in it, and it's like a little cup, and it goes, and it makes like really realistic fart noises.
Okay.
And he would use it in the most inappropriate moments.
Nice.
All the time. Like, and you would never know it was in his hand. He would just be like, the director would be talking to him, he'd be like, and just no expression or anything, and make the noise, and just yeah, okay. Or they bring like, people in from the press to do interviews and stuff, and he would be doing his interviews, and he'd just be like, yeah. Well, it was really interesting to do,
Well, acting like nothing happens.
Just acting like nothing happens. Then he'd be like, No. And it was even funny because, like, as he's getting older, because he was so old at that point,
you believe
people are like,
maybe it is real, yeah.
Oh, like we can't laugh and we can't stop because maybe it's an
He's
issue.
old.
Maybe it's an issue. Maybe he doesn't hear it. Maybe he doesn't feel it. Maybe he doesn't know. And he's just and he would
But
walk
he can
off
smell?
and laugh, and he would walk off and laugh and just have such a he was a great guy. And then Marion Ross, who was from Happy Days, played the mom on Happy Days, which I grew up watching, was amazing. And Kevin was amazing. I mean, it was just a really, really fun. I get to put on a superhero costume and walk around, and like as soon as you put on the muscle suit and the costume, you're like, you like feel like you could like
feel like a superhero.
I'm like, I need to go save people. Like I need
Yeah.
I know we're busy shooting a movie, but like there are things that need to be saved in the world, and I can do it. Look at me,
I look fine.
Yeah.
Okay, we had some pictures, some photos that we want to show you, and you tell us about it, what you experienced in each occasion.
Okay.
Vamos con la primera. Ahí está.
Aw, look at that little guy.
Which
that's
one
the
are
first
you?
Season. That's for I'm on the top right.
Okay.
That's the first season of the Amanda Show.
Okay. How old are you?
I am over 13.
Okay.
I think I'm 13 there. Actually, I think that was before we started shooting. That was I was probably 12 in that picture. Yeah, maybe 13. I don't know.
All right.
I don't remember.
Siguiente foto.
And there's Nancy, who ended up playing our mom on Drake and Josh. She was on the first season. She was on Amanda's show with us.
It's the same lady?
Yeah. Yeah, that's our mom from Drake and Josh. It is? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Siguiente foto.
Wow, okay, so this is on Home Improvement.
Yeah.
This had to be... I think it was 1994. I was 8 years old. And that was, like, I think one of my first sitcoms that I did. And it was really cool because I loved Home Improvement as a kid. And so getting on, that was really, really fun to be with Tim Allen and JTT. And
it was the first time in the studio?
Yeah, on a set for like a sitcom. Yeah. For like a sitcom like that. We shot it over at Disney Studios, which is one of my favorite lots.
Did you feel like the magic get broke when you saw?
It's weird. It is weird. It's weird because you don't realize that they're just sets. Like you really feel like the rest of the stuff is there, and you don't know that they're like right next to each other. You know, you think like, oh, the house is here, and they must shoot the Tool Time set on another area, and it's like no, it's like there's the house, there's the living room and the kitchen. There's the Tool Time set. Away, You're like, what? Like, yeah, it's a trip when you really get to see it.
Did you take a picture on the fence?
Well, you know what's awesome is getting to see what he really looks like. Because, you know, the character of Wilson is always behind the fence.
Yeah.
And even when they come out to do a curtain call, he made this little fence that that's handheld. Nice. So even when he comes out for the audience and bows, the live audience is like, oh, we're gonna get to see what Wilson looks like in the curtain call, and he comes out with a little mini fence, and you don't get to see him. Shit. So, getting to see what he really looked like was a trip.
Siguiente foto, por favor. You were in Seinfeld.
Yeah, that's the fourth to last episode of Seinfeld, the Frogger episode. That was unreal. I mean, because
were you a fan of Seinfeld?
Yeah, and it's the number at that time. It's the highest rated show on TV.
It was the final season, right?
Yeah, and it's the final season, and it's like, why is Seinfeld ending? It's the #1 show on TV.
Because he wanted.
And because he wanted to. He's like, yeah, we've done what we needed to do. Money. Yeah, we did what we needed to do, and so it was really cool to be on there. Michael Richards was one of the nicest guys. Like it's crazy. He would come backstage and like give all the guests, like we were just guests on this like huge show, you know, and I say one line in the episode, and when we were getting ready to do live audience, like he was the only one that like came in, and he's like, he comes into the green room where all the like guest actors are waiting, and he's like, hey guys, all right, we're about to go on, we're gonna have a great show, like you guys killed it in rehearsals, like this is gonna be great, like, and he just like, it was just, you know, people don't do that. They just like stay in their dressing room, so they need to come on. The guest stars are like, oh yeah, this is the person that's here this week that says those lines, and you know, to get that star behavior. But he was really cool. And then I got to work with Jason Alexander again on the Fairly Odd Parents movies.
Oh yeah,
which was really cool. And when he came onto the set, I was like, haha, that's funny. Like I was a cameo on your show, now you're a cameo in my movie. Like what a trip. Like what? Like it's so. I was like, I was the Frogger kid, and he's like, no way, you were the Frog, no way. And but yeah, it was kind of like a cool kind of little reunion.
Is he a cool guy, right?
He's awesome. Yeah. He's awesome, and he is like, he's your actor's actor. Like, you sit down at lunch with Jason Alexander, and you go to like school. I mean, he's got all the stories of all the old actors, and he's had experiences with everyone. He's had the best stories. You hear, it's like watching Robert Evans, The Kid Stays in the Picture, or something. Like he's just like Hollywood history. Okay. You know, he's a lot of fun.
Siguiente imagen, por favor. Okay.
Oh, that's
from the commercial, right?
Yeah, that's the Pokemon commercial. That's when you used to have to, before like technology.
Yeah.
You know, before we had technology, we had you plugged in the Game Boy and then you plugged into your friend's Game Boy and you could play together.
Yeah, you can
but
play
you had to
co-op.
be like 4 feet away. This commercial lies because I'm playing with a friend in the other apartment.
Yeah, across the street.
And our cable is like going all the way across the
There's
room,
no way.
across the street. And but yeah, so that was that was before Drake and Josh, so I had to be 11 or 12 in that one.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you were working.
I was working constantly, yeah.
Hey,
I haven't stopped.
¿Cómo? Tenemos el comercial. A ver, ponlo. We have the commercial. I mean, what were the notes like? You play and that's it?
Yeah.
Imagine a Pikachu.
Yeah,
coming
and
out?
yep. And they're like, okay, look there. Look there, there's a Pikachu, and then your friend's gonna, yeah, see, the cables weren't that long. You could not play with your friend across the street. I was probably, that's false advertising.
That's false advertising. Sí, siguiente, por favor.
Yeah, and so, yeah. I couldn't even count how many commercials that I did. It's crazy looking back on some of those.
This was a hard one to find. Look at that.
Oh, that's Amanda teaching me the Oops, I Did It Again Britney Spears choreography.
Why?
Because we're a couple of kids on set and we're bored. They're setting up shots, and she loved Britney, and she's like, no, you got to do it like this. And she's like, then you are,
You're not such a dancer, right?
No, obviously.
You dance like a pool player.
Yeah, so she had learned all the choreography to Britney's Oops, I Did It Again, and she's like, Drake, come here. I need to teach you the choreography for Oops, I Did It Again. And this is me doing the choreography to Oops, I Did It Again. Yeah.
Siguiente video, por favor.
Oh, this was a goldfish commercial I did. This was a campaign where it was actually kind of cool because they put me on the goldfish boxes in the grocery stores. And it was like something like I don't know, either
Why is there a
win
flying fish?
win a concert or a guitar or something. I don't remember because it's a goldfish, the Cracker Snacks, and they have like the gold. They had like the goldfish floating.
No,
too.
right here is a
That was the goldfish
rectangular.
character. But anyway, they
We don't have fish.
You don't have goldfish here?
No.
Yeah, you guys do.
I mean,
Come on. No?
no.
Really?
Sí tenemos el pececito.
You guys have goldfish? You have goldfish?
Like
Yeah.
a goldfish cracker? No.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah.
Why? Why?
They're good.
Why do you guys need a cracker has the form of a fish? Why?
It's basically a Cheez-It, but looks like a fish.
Okay.
Yeah.
fish.
You know what? I've never questioned it.
I
But
do.
they're really good.
I do.
They're really good.
Siguiente video.
Okay. This was like right when we started shooting Drake and Josh. This
Okay.
was an ad that I had done. I had just written the theme song for the show. And this was just kind of like those things that go in between shows. It's like, hey, what's up? I'm this kooky kid that plays guitar, and I like to smile, and I need to get a haircut.
Siguiente video, por favor. Tenemos uno más.
And there
Ese es
it
el de
is.
Grandfather,
That's
yeah.
the reunion. That's the reunion everyone was waiting for. Yeah, this was cool. Josh gave me a call. I was on tour, and I got a call from Josh, and he's like, "Hey, I'm working on this show, Grandfather," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I auditioned for your role, and I didn't get it." But I was like, yeah. He's like, the writers want to do like a reunion of us. Like they want to bring you on an episode of the show. Would you be down? And I was like, hell yeah, dude. I'm like, I'd love to. I'd do anything with you. Let's go. And so I got to go down to where did we shoot that? We shoot that at Culver Studios, I think. No, not Culver Studios. We shot it. It doesn't matter to your audience. I'm just reminiscing. I don't remember what the name of the studio is. It was in Studio City. It was in Studio City, but yeah. So I got to go there and work with Josh, and that was a lot of fun.
You said you did an audition for that part.
Oh yeah, I did.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is there a role you regret you didn't get it? Like, man,
I don't know now, like thinking back. You know what's interesting that happens a lot, which is kind of like, thank God, in the industry is like, there's a part you really want, like you want this, like, it usually happens with like a sitcom. And you're like, man, I wanted that part and this kid got it and this guy got it. Like, man, I would have had a blast on that show. And then it goes like 2 or 3 episodes and then gets canceled. And you're like,
you dodged the bullet.
Oh, thank God I wasn't on that show. So, but I can't think of really like specific auditions that I wish I'd have gotten that I didn't get. I can't. I'd have to like. I'd have to spend
that's
time
good,
thinking about
man.
that.
You're a great footballer.
I mean, I enjoy what I've done. You know, it's
Yeah.
I've been.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
I became, a long time ago, a huge fan of your tweets.
Oh boy.
I started following
What
you.
era of my Twitter account are you speaking of? Because there's a few.
I mean, it was like 15 years ago. I can't recall the exact date, but you were. I don't want to say fighting because you weren't fighting, just messing around with Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
What did it start at?
It started because I don't even know. Okay. The fans were wild back then. And I just started getting attacked by like Justin Bieber fans. And I was like, it's like, what? Like, what? So, you know, I clapped back a few times.
Okay.
And then it made it worse.
A lot worse.
So I was like, my every day I would like open up my Twitter and it would just be like, go die. You need to kill yourself because you made fun of Justin Bieber. You deserve to die and mutilate yourself and hang yourself and kill yourself and drink poison. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I'm like, and so like literally like I went to because you know, you can get away with some things if in your bio you write like comedian.
Yeah.
You know? So you're like,
not at all.
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Not at all.
Not anymore. But back in the day, it used to be like,
are you telling me
I'm
people
I'm a comic. I'm a comedian. Like, what? I can say whatever. You know, come on. That's what we do. Come on. So I like went in there. I'm like, comedian. I'm like, God, it's a joke, you kids. You know. But it just started getting more visceral and horrible. And I'm literally like waking up. I'm like, oh, what a great day. Oh, drink poison, go die. I'm like, okay. Like,
Good
but
morning.
Like, 100,000 of them. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, they're like, we know what airplane you're on. You're coming home from this place and we're going to find you and kill you. I'm like,
I remember that.
yeah.
And actually, you wrote back, I'm in this terminal.
I sent a picture of my ticket and the terminal number. And they showed up.
Nah.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. I got off the train. But it was very funny because I showed up and I'm in the baggage claim and they're like playing like Justin Bieber music and like they're all dancing around and they're like we came to destroy you, baby. And I was like, there's no way. I live in an alternate universe right now. I'm like, there is no way this is real. And that lasted for about 10 seconds and then they were like, actually, can we get pictures with you? And I was like, oh, okay, like in person.
You're nice in person.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But anyway,
Did you take the pictures?
It was yeah, of course.
Nice.
But it was it just became like this whole thing. I was joking around, man. I was just poking fun. I was like, this is like, why are you guys taking this seriously? Like, I'm joking. Like, whatever. But
I have my favorite one. Can we show the picture or the tweet? This is my favorite one. Doing some writing. Yeah, right. I mean, I read it with your voice, man.
No.
Yeah, right.
I was like, yeah, right. But no, I don't know. I think I got a little too. I took it a little too far. I took it a little too far, and I took it so far because I for some reason, I mean, like Justin Bieber was like on top of the world. Like I'm like there's no way Justin Bieber's reading my tweets.
Okay.
Like he's not like I'm so far down on the totem pole compared to like where Justin is. Like I'm a fart in the wind to him. Like there's no way he's reading my tweets.
Did he?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was reading them. So I had an album release party for my record Ready Steady Go. And I have a friend who's a close friend of Justin's, or was, I don't know if they're anymore, but he was a close friend, and he showed up to my album release party, and he's like, Drake, I gotta talk to you. I gotta talk to you. It's really important. I was like, oh shoot, man, I'm about to go play. I'm about to perform. But hey, I'll see you in a minute. He's like, no, bro, this is really important. Like, I gotta tell you something. And I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go outside. Tell me later. You know, I'm like, I can't wait. Too much shit to do. So I was like, tell me after. Well, what he was gonna tell me was what was about to happen. And Justin Bieber shows up at my album release party in his Sprinter van and pulls in front of the venue that I'm doing my album release party. And he had like sent a message to all his fans that he's like where he's gonna be, and then he sent a post. He put on his Instagram a picture of me looking down because a friend of mine took a picture of it and then posted it on his stories. And Justin took that picture. And it's me looking down at Justin's van with his fans all swarming around. And Justin goes, why is Justin Bieber's Sprinter van getting more attention than Drake Bell's album release party?
No.
And I was just like, touche. Well played. I respect it. I looked down, and I wish you had seen the other side because it's just from my back, but I was looking down just going, well played.
Yeah, that's a nice move.
Good move. I full respect for the comedic timing of this clapback. That was really funny.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Hello to Justin. He always see this show, so.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he's a fan.
Oh, yeah?
Nah. We're gonna do a little short break, and then when we return, there's gonna be how you call it, a game?
A game?
Yeah, we're gonna do a game.
All right, let's roll.
It's okay for you. So,
yeah.
Quédense con nosotros, no se vayan. Esto es Desde el Cerro de la Silla. En vivo no, bitches.
Hay un momento en el que dices, ¿qué me faltó? Mi santa madre, que le mando un saludo, dijo, a ver, tú no hiciste nada. La que es puta, es puta.
Espérate. Deja que llegue, en media hora. Cerito, perino.
¿Cuántas o qué, compadre?
Señores, amigos del noticiero, estamos transmitiendo directamente
desde el huracán Franco Escamilla. Una cucaracha, a la vez.
¿Quién? ¡Benelli! ¡Sí!
Chingazo, madre, aquí no hay.
Se me paró tantito, préstame tu mano. No.
Aguacate. Sí, el queso de puerco.
¿Somos pobres?
No, padrino es.
El queso de puerco sabe bueno.
Tienes que...
Entonces eres pobre. Como que en otra vida fui puta.
¿Qué?
Con razón te quedó tan...
O sea, era puta y lesbiana.
Viejo.
La gran vida.
Yo vi un video de un vato que está en la carretera y luego hay una curva y el hijo de puta en la barda que está de frente pintó como la carretera.
Y el vato se veía.
¡No!
¿Habrá banda que fuma cogiendo?
Yo me he fijado en el espejo y digo, me veo con madre.
Chupando pito. Primero le fuma el pito y le chupa
Para quitarme el sabor.
Por primera vez escuchamos al señor Treviño hablar en inglés. Dijo, tenemos la teoría, güey, de que el maestro de inglés de Poncho era sordomudo, güey.
¿En qué se parece Franco Escamilla a Carely Ruiz?
Ya quisiera, Carely. Ya quisiera, Carely.
Cristian, pues lo compramos en la carretera.
Welcome back, family. Now we're going to play a little game with the Yammies. No, Yami Cortez and Yami Roots. This is Drake Bell. Ladies, say hi. And Yami Cortez is going to explain the rules.
Yeah, we're going to play a game named Stop. So, I'm going to start thinking the alphabet in my mind, and Yami is going to say...
¿Puedes explicar en español?
Perdón. Pues, bueno, pues nada más vamos a pensar en el abecedario en la cabeza. Yami va a decir basta. Y una vez que diga basta, vamos a empezar a escribir todos un nombre, un apellido, una cosa, país, animal, con la letra que yo haya pensado.
Me tuviste toda la entrevista hablando en inglés. ¿Y si entendías español? You're a piece of shit, you know that.
Well, she's way prettier than me, so.
Bueno, dijo way pretty, I'm pretty. That means I'm pretty. Okay, so...
Well, you're pretty, she's just prettier.
Queremos probarte.
I know. Yeah. Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Joder puta. Okay.
No voy a revelar secretos.
¿Y es por equipos?
No, individual.
Todos contra todos.
Todos contra todos.
Okay. Va.
Pero esos ya no cuentan. That doesn't count.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I've crossed it out.
Okay.
I've crossed it out.
Nice.
It's gone.
Okay, so I'm
never
gonna start
revisit those
guessing,
ever
and
again.
you say stop, right?
Tú empiezas.
Sí, yo pienso.
Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wait. Okay. You're thinking. Who's saying stop?
Me.
Okay.
¿Ya estás pensando? It's stop.
I know. Stop.
K.
¿Qué?
K.
Espera, yo escribo en español o en inglés.
En español.
En español.
Okay. Un apellido con K, no sé. ¿Qué?
Puta madre, un apellido con K. No me soplen.
Ok, total nada.
Cantú. Ya sé. Basta.
No que
Digo,
muy
stop.
acá y que no sé qué, que no sé cuánto.
Stop. Ok, nombre.
Karen.
Karina.
De los gatos.
Carla.
Karen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. No, we have
Todos
a 50,
tenemos
right?
Apellido.
No, what did you say?
Karen.
Karen. Yeah, 50-50.
¿Quién
Oh, you said Karen?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We say the same.
Ok.
Apellido.
No. Puse Kennedy.
Okay.
Oh,
good.
¿sí? Bueno, sí.
Ok.
Yo
No,
puse
yo no tengo.
el novio de Taylor Swift, Kelche.
Ay, eso no
Ok,
se
sí. Es con... Sí.
I put Kelvin. I'm pretty sure someone has that last
Kelvin
name.
is a name.
Kelvin.
Kelvin.
Yeah,
No,
the
it could be
one
a last
with,
name.
No, that's lame.
Of course it could be. Danny Kelvin.
Los granos Kelvin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah.
You got it.
Super
Sí,
famous
Kelvin.
croquet player.
Yeah, you're right. I'm so
Cosa?
sorry.
Kiwi.
Kiwi. Es un...
Pues no había frutas
No,
aquí,
¿qué?
cuenta como cosa.
Bueno,
Kiwi, that's a good one. I couldn't think of anything for thing.
yo puse kiosco, pero no estoy seguro si es con K.
Kiosk.
Sí, kiosco sí.
Estamos ya en cosa.
Sí.
La neta, yo puse caca, güey.
No.
50.
Nah, ni-
No, ni 50.
Es que se me bugueó el cerebro.
No puse país.
Tú, Rey, ¿qué pusiste? Cosa.
A country?
No.
No, I mean a thing.
Okay.
A cosa. No, I didn't get anything for cosa.
Okay.
0.
País.
No puse.
Nada. Katmandú.
Oh my God.
I know.
Good work.
I know.
Good work.
I know.
Puse Kentucky, pero no estoy
No, eso
segura
no
de
es un
que... Sí, esa...
Es un tipo de pollo.
No, estoy segura de que es algo en el globo
a ver.
terráqueo.
A ver, pero específicamente país
Sí,
o
en
ciudad.
el pueblo decimos país, ciudad, estado. O sea, es lo mismo.
Bueno, o sea, que vale.
No.
Yeah.
It says country. I could have done Kansas, Kentucky.
You didn't.
Yo dije
Well, because it
Kentucky.
says country.
Por eso, pero no es país.
And you said, yo entiendo.
A ver.
Yeah, país.
País.
País, no ciudad.
Bueno,
Ajá,
país,
ajá.
ciudad o estado. Same shit.
Mira, hay que dejar que el señor se ponga de
Okay,
acuerdo
yeah.
con sus ideas,
You
porque
can put
estamos
whatever you
jugando
want,
mal.
don't
Ok.
It's because she's pretty.
Me voy a poner 0 porque soy humilde.
Animal.
Koala.
Koala.
Kangaroo.
Okay.
Ah,
Kangaroo en inglés. Estamos en español, señorita.
Pero
Podemos
aquí somos bilingües.
50-50.
So I got.
Me voy a poner un 100.
Are you keeping score for everyone or what do I put? I
no,
put 50
you
here.
have to write it by yourself.
Ahora vamos a hacerlo difícil, en
You
inglés.
have 50, 100.
Karen, kiwi,
Zero.
koala. Todo está en inglés también.
Sí, sí.
50.
Sí.
Yep.
Okay.
Va, ahora yo pienso el abecedario, tú me detienes.
The what now?
¿Eh?
I didn't hear what you said.
Okay, I'm gonna think about the abecedario. No sé cómo se dice, váyanse a la mierda. And you said stop.
Okay.
But this time we're going in English.
Okay.
We weren't.
¿Tú
English
entiendes?
before?
Okay.
What did you say? Huh?
In English.
¿Cómo se dice?
En inglés.
Okay.
Okay. A.
Stop.
L.
Ay, no más.
L.
Ay, es en inglés, pendeja. Uy.
Basta.
No.
Basta por 2.
Ok. Tú empiezas. Nombre.
Laura.
Laura, la concha de tu...
Espérate. Bueno, yo puse Laurie, entonces los 100 son para mí.
Yo puse Lauren.
Yo lo puse en... Ajá.
Yo puse Laura.
No, yo puse Laura.
Yo me voy a poner un 100.
Bueno, 50. López. Nombre, name.
Larry.
Larry.
Laura.
David.
Es Laura.
Ok, 100.
Apellido.
Lauren.
López.
Puse Lewis, pero no sé si es un apellido.
Lewis.
Ajá,
Sí.
Lewis.
Levin.
Ok. Cosa.
A lime.
¿Cómo?
Lime.
Ese es...
Eso no es una cosa, es un fruto.
Ya sé, pero me la valieron en la pasada, así que la apliqué.
Está haciendo daño.
Place or thing.
I put lamp.
Yo puse lunch.
¿Eh?
Yo puse lunch.
Lunch.
Sí, porque me confundí con comida. Pero válido, ¿no?
Ok.
Ok, válido.
País. Sí.
I did lamp.
Nah, you didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't.
I did.
You didn't. Look, the P is over right there.
Well, it's because I meant lamp, but I accidentally wrote lamb. But it was supposed to be lamp.
No,
so I
you put lamp, and that's an animal.
Well, then I'll do. A lamb is a noun. It's a person, place, or thing. It's a noun.
Is it?
It works.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a thing. But I did. I put lamp, so 50-50.
Ok, va. Está bueno. Pichi tramposo.
Los dos están haciendo
País, ciudad o estado.
Lituania. No
¿Cómo?
sé si se dice así, Lituania.
Lituania. Sí.
Yo no puse nada.
London.
Zero.
London, baby. Country,
Are
city,
we doing
state.
countries, cities, or
Do whatever you want.
All of them.
A place. Let's call it place.
Yeah. I mean, just don't cheat and say like,
Wait,
my small town.
So I can do a city, I can do a country, a city, or what else?
Yeah.
Or a country.
No.
Country, city,
Country,
state.
city, state.
State.
That's
Okay, all right. Well, now you guys are really going
It
down.
doesn't count with bills.
Because we got 50 of those things I can choose from.
Animal,
Lion.
lion.
I said Lithuania also, by the way, so we're 50 on
Ay,
that.
qué mentiras.
A ver. No, ya lo escribiste. Okay. 50.
And then, what was the animal?
Lion.
Yeah. You?
Sí.
Lion.
You?
Nothing.
Okay, so what do we get?
Yeah,
Them.
pretty good.
Okay.
50. Yeah.
It's still 50 even though it's divided
Yeah,
into
don't
3?
worry, man.
Okay, all right.
I mean, 33.33.
Yeah.
Now in Spanish, right?
Okay, Spanish.
Español,
And you think
español,
the
español,
letters,
español.
and Yami is going to say stop.
Okay.
Oh,
I think
Yami.
of the letters?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Tú dices todo. Ah, no, él piensa.
Okay.
Ya. Es que cuando dicen Yami, pues las dos volteamos.
Sí.
Y ya, ok.
Ya está pensando, ¿no?
You're already
Yes,
thinking,
yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
No, I mean, now.
Okay, now. Stop.
G.
G.
Okay. Español.
Okay.
Ok.
Coño.
Tengo frío en la mano.
Me bugueé en el animal. Buena.
Sí,
¿Nombre?
sí.
Gerardo.
Gerardo, la concha de tu madre.
¿Yamis?
Gerardo.
Gertrudis.
Ay.
Es un nombre.
El nombre de abuela.
Sí.
Drake.
Okay, so this isn't fair, okay? Because I forgot we were doing Spanish words, and then when I got the thing, I started to write an English word, and I was like, oh shoot, it's in Spanish. So then, and then you beat me, and then you'll stop. So I only got names.
Okay. Gato, la concha de tu madre.
Gato, guepardo.
Sorry. Ok. Sí, apellido.
González.
Gámez.
Garza.
¿Qué? Ay, no pusiste
González.
No, qué no.
Ok.
Cosa.
Una ganzúa.
Ok, goma.
Granada.
Verde. Granadas y ganzúas, ¿eh?
Bueno, es que...
Somos criminales. Drake.
I got nothing for the last
Okay.
three.
País.
Guadalajara.
Groenlandia.
¿Dijiste Guadalajara? Guadalajara.
Ay,
50.
bueno.
Nada.
Gato.
Animal lo puse gato, la concha de tu
Gato.
madre.
Gato.
50.
¿Qué? ¿Y por qué no dijiste basta? Si tú contestaste.
Porque no sé jugar. Es la primera vez que juego basta, güey.
Pues sí,
Es la
estás
primera vez que
contestando
juego
ahí, a mí no
basta.
me cuadra la cuenta.
Ya me está haciendo un rompecabezas.
No, es que estoy aprendiendo junto con Drake, perdóname. Lo siento mucho.
Ahora en inglés.
Ok.
Y tú piensas, Ruth.
Ok.
Bueno.
No, de verdad sí pienso.
Intenta.
A ver, 1, 2, 3.
¿Quién la detiene?
Pues nadie.
Basta.
Sí.
Sí.
Sí. Mona,
Es que lo ya la... No. No, es que yo iba en vergüenza. No. Shut the fuck up, motherfucker. Ok, ahí voy. That was my second round.
She's
Mira,
doing the
No, it was
por
more like
eso.
this. It was more like A.
No, I was A, B, C, D.
What's
Ajá.
D.
I
D.
quit.
B.
B.
Stop. C. C.
Tree.
Don't be rude
Green.
to me.
9. 9.
Ustedes no escribiendo.
¿Cuál era? Sí.
Ustedes son los lentos porque no saben darle 2 vueltas al abecedario en verguiza.
Sí, a huevo.
En inglés.
Espérate, ¿ya empezamos? Ah.
Coño.
Basta.
No puedo, coño, no puedo poner como cosa.
No, porque está en español.
Ok,
y es
sí,
en
sí.
inglés.
Va, nombre.
Charlie.
Charlie.
¿También? No puede ser.
Puse Carla con C.
Name?
Carl.
Carl, ok.
Carl es con K, ¿no? O también con C.
Los
Los dos, ok.
Apellido.
Cortés.
Ah, yo también.
Cosby. I mean,
Eso no existe.
The old Cosby, not the new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not the pale Cosby. Ya estamos tirando barras en inglés.
Craven.
Ok. ¿Tú y a mí?
En cosa puse cosa, güey.
Vamos en apellido, güey.
Ah, ya lo dije. Cortés.
Ah, ok.
Ok.
Cosa.
Cloud.
Les digo que piensan
Clothes.
lento y luego me
Clothes,
dicen
ok. Le
cosas.
puse caca.
Pero en inglés sería poop.
No, caca.
También en
Porque
caca.
es un niño
Estamos en-
que tiene una nana mexicana. Si le valieron kangaroo a ella en español, a mí me valen caca.
Eso es verdad. Es cierto.
Ah,
Cosa.
bueno.
Drake, think.
Cup.
Cup. Ok.
¿Yamis?
Que puse cosa. Les digo que ellos son los que piensan lento y luego me están diciendo cosas
¿Qué
de
pusiste
mí.
en cosa?
Cosa.
La cosa no es una cosa, no mames.
Entonces, ¿qué es la
Don't
cosa?
suck.
Entonces, ¿qué es la cosa?
Es una
¿Qué es
palabra.
una cosa?
A ver, es como la canción de Arjona.
Solo responde la pregunta.
No es verbo ni
¿Qué
sustantivo.
es una cosa?
Ay, ¿qué es una mujer? O sea, no. Cosa no es cosa.
¿Qué es una cosa?
Nada.
So you can suck.
País.
Canadá.
Canadá.
Canadá también.
California.
Ok.
Ah, bueno.
I just can't read. Animal.
El gatito otra vez.
¿Cómo? Cat. Ok.
Ahora puse canguro en español.
Ahora en español, no, pues ya cada quien ponga lo que quiera.
Exacto. 150, 60, 100, ok.
Ok, va. Otra en español. En casita, ¿cómo van? ¿Cuántos puntos han sacado?
No, hombre.
Y tú piensas, te detiene Roots.
Ok.
Vamos
Empiezo.
en español.
Ok.
A.
Stop.
I.
Ok. Híjole. Híjole, güey.
Basta.
Fuck. Ok.
Pum.
Chale.
Me faltó el animal.
This is bullshit. ¿Nombre?
Iris.
Irma.
Irene.
Enrique.
¿Qué?
Ay, güey.
Ok, va.
Oh, you said E.
Yeah.
Yeah, E in
Estamos en
Spanish.
español. I mean, it's an honest mistake.
Yeah.
Bueno,
It's her fault.
bueno, apellido.
Él me dijo que podía hablar en español.
Sí. That's on you, man. You
Yeah,
say
I
that,
fucked
yeah.
up.
You say, yeah.
Iglesias.
Íñigo.
Yo no puse nada, puse la I.
Okay.
Cero.
Last name with E.
Elias.
Okay.
It wasn't E. I didn't know it was eh. I thought it was eh.
That's why I said español.
Well, I didn't know you
Cosa.
letters in
Iglú.
Iglú.
Ah, yo también iglú.
Todos.
Sí, todos.
Cosa.
Igloo?
Yep.
It's the same in Spanish?
I mean, yeah, but with an I.
It's the same in English too. It's with an I.
Yeah, but you write it with two O's, right?
Yeah.
You only one U.
Oh, it's IGLU?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Islandia.
India.
Inglaterra.
Bien.
Bien, bien.
No animal.
No alcancé yo tampoco animal.
Animal. Iguana.
Yo no alcancé animal.
Iguanodonte. No es cierto.
No mientas por
Güey,
convivir.
no mentí, igual no lo puse.
Espérame, deja eso.
You don't have to go, man. Come on.
I have to go pick up my stuff.
Ah.
Because I want to keep playing.
Okay.
So I'm going to crush you guys on the English part.
Okay. Let's do two in English in a row, shall we?
Venga, puro inglés, ya, puro inglés.
Just English.
All right.
All right.
Okay. ¿Quién
Yo-
sigue?
Okay.
¿Tú? ¿Quién dice stop?
Drake.
Ok.
I'll say stop.
Yep.
Ya.
Stop.
M.
Ay,
Stop.
Ay, de duda en una.
I didn't have to think. Okay. Nombre.
María.
Mario.
Melanie.
Mary.
Ah,
100.
todos valen.
Martínez.
Martínez.
Ay, no puede ser.
De hecho, escribí Melanie Martínez.
Cosa,
se me
puse
fue.
Moon.
Yo no
al
tengo
final,
nada.
pero la dudé y la quería
Luna.
Mall.
Okay.
cambiar. Ok.
No tengo nada.
No, yo nada, tampoco.
Ok.
Entonces le hice bien.
Ciudad.
Marruecos.
Matamoros.
Puse Miami.
Massachusetts.
Okay.
That's a long word, man.
And I still got done before you guys.
Ok.
Monkey.
Animal.
Monkey.
Monkey.
Mamut.
Mamut.
No, y estoy escribiendo.
They don't exist anymore, you know that?
Pero pusiste mamut en inglés o en español.
A ver, queremos ver.
En español.
Era en inglés, lo sentimos mucho.
But it's the same.
Entonces, ¿en inglés? Ay, güey, pues es que es lógico.
No, mammoth in English is actually dog.
Excellent.
I know
Some
English.
big ass dog right there.
Okay.
Okay, one more.
Okay, okay.
Now, Drake, you're gonna think the alphabet?
Okay.
All right. And tú le dices.
Sí. Stop.
G. Oh, we already did G. Let's do
Okay,
it.
again.
Just don't do it like roots. Ah.
¿Lo van a cambiar? Ustedes son los lentos.
D.
D. Ok.
¿Ya no? Ah, no.
Stop.
Ay, no manches.
Ni de pedo.
This is how we do it.
Me siento. ¿Qué?
Sí, mira, ahí está.
Las trae calcadas.
Ni se entiende nada.
Bueno, cada quien su letra, ¿no?
No se ve nada, de verdad.
A ver, tú la revisas. Bueno. Nombre.
Pero dijimos en inglés.
¿Todo está en inglés?
En su inglés, güey, ¿sabes? O sea.
Parece coreano, pero es inglés. ¿Nombre?
Ok.
Dana.
Daniel.
Dean.
David.
Ok. Bueno, es que yo puse Daniel, realmente.
Es verdad. Apellido no puse.
Duarte.
Drew. Drew. No que en inglés, motherfucker.
Sí, es un güey que vive en Estados Unidos, se apellida Duarte. También hay mexicoamericanos.
Está bien.
Solamente puse.
I got David.
Solo puso.
David? Just David.
Well, Larry David.
Okay, that's a last name.
But I didn't write it. So I didn't get anything after David for this one.
But this is in your language, bro.
I know. My brain kind of shut off after David.
Okay.
I was trying to think of a last name, and I was like,
But I'm the slow one.
And then
I have to say that she's a believer.
But I didn't attack you.
I'm a believer.
I didn't attack you. Maybe a few times, but it's the past.
It's okay, I didn't see it.
Cosa.
No puse nada.
Dildo. That's English.
Yo no puse nada en las siguientes.
País.
Dinamarca.
Yo puse Denmark porque estamos en inglés.
Tienes razón. Lo pensé, dije.
No
lo,
vale.
lo pensé muy tarde.
Tú.
Yo no puse nada.
David. Okay.
Yes.
David.
David.
Animal.
Dodo. Pero no sé cómo se dice en inglés.
Dodo.
¿También?
Yeah.
Sí. Ah, bueno. Entonces,
Dragon.
Nada. Ok.
Oh, David. David is an animal.
He is. He really is.
¿Hacemos suma?
Sí.
Sí.
A ver. Ay, esta es la parte fea.
Are we adding in Spanish or
Yeah.
English?
No, we're adding in English.
Okay.
1700,
Ah.
1750, 1850.
13, 16.
50.
2,800.
¡Ah! Seguro.
Cuéntale.
No, sí te creo.
¿Tú?
2300.
2300, yo también.
¿Tú también?
Empataron.
Ah, es que yo tengo muchos 50.
David got me on the David.
So that was a shitty school acting, right? How many
14,
points?
1450.
1450, okay. I didn't want to say that, but
Corrupción.
I won.
What did you get?
And also, you can check this with the interventor.
Necesito que los chequen para que vean que sí.
Revísenlos.
Él podía escribir lo que sea.
A ver, yo
porque,
quiero ver
mira,
la
le
letra.
hace así.
I thought I was
¿Me la
going to do
pasas?
good
Así,
on that.
como doctor.
¿Me la pasas, Trey?
Esa es mi letra.
Thank you.
No. No. ¿Sí? Qué complicado.
Iba a ser médico y siempre no. Pero me chingué la rodilla.
Nada más entiende la primera
Pero
letra,
estos
¿verdad?
son rayones, no son palabras.
Porque me equivoqué cuando lo estaba escribiendo. Había puesto dedal en cosa en inglés. Y luego puse dildo.
Qué vergüenza, lleva la otra.
Are you okay, Drake?
David.
David.
I don't really like that game.
We want to thank you, man, for accept the invitation and take the time.
Yeah.
Are you going to perform the next month? Anything you want
Yeah,
to
we have a
advertise?
lot of, and also thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Man.
I had a blast.
Did you?
Yeah, no. This was a lot
Thank
of
you
fun.
so much.
Yeah, I'm playing here in Monterrey tomorrow on the 8th of September, and then I go to.
Don't worry, yeah.
I go to other
All the
places.
people with 2 gigs know it by memory.
All the.
You have a lot, man. You need to.
Where is it?
David.
David. I'm playing in David. No, I'm playing Monterrey on the 8th. Leon on the 21st. San Diego, 27th, Tijuana, the 28th, Querétaro, on the 4th of October, October 5th in Puebla, October 26th in Guadalajara, Mexico, Ciudad de México, 27 de octubre, noviembre, Metepec on the 8th, San Luis Potosí
Drake
on the 9th.
en Metepec.
He's wild.
That's wild, man. Be careful.
You are so
Pórtense
brave,
bien, cabrones.
Aguas Calientes.
Hot waters?
Yep. I'll be in hot water after Metepec, I'll tell you that. Okay. Aguas Calientes on the 23rd, Chihuahua on the 29th, Ciudad Juárez on the 30th.
Danger.
And then I have Ecuador. And where else? Ecuador and Monclova. Yeah, there's a lot. There's more coming. Yeah.
Ecuador, and after that, Monclova. Wow, máximo respeto a Monclova. Monclovita la Bella. That's how they call it. Monclovita la Bella. Like little Monclova, the pretty one.
Monclovita
la Bella.
La Bella. I'll be going there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos. We have a present for you, man. We have this, ¿cómo se dice? Caricaturista, cartoon drawer. Cartoon drawer. She made this for you. So, this is for you. That's the same, yeah. With all respect.
Oh, that's rad. Dude, I love it. That's awesome.
And thank you so much for staying with us and for the patience and for the laughs. And we hope to see you again and again and again and again.
Thank you so much. This is fun.
So you've always been welcome here. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Y raza, ahora sí ya en español. Cuídense mucho. Gracias por acompañarnos. Nos vemos la próxima semana, que esperemos ahora sí sea en vivo. Gracias a mis compañeras Yami Cortés, Yami Roots y Drake Bell. Señores, esto fue Desde el Cerro de la Silla, perras. ¡Woo!